So here we are, here we go, we're back into it, and yeah, welcome back to my little garage. So what am I going to be doing today? What I'm going to do is been watching a few cooking shows of late, watching a few cowboy cooking YouTube videos, due to the fact that my cooking is a little bit bland, to say the least. So I'm going to try and spice things up a little bit. So what I thought I'd do is make myself a herb knife. This here being the pattern. You might see next I'm cutting it out. I've already cut it out in this stage, but we'll go back because the video camera didn't work. But never mind, we'll get there. So what I'm going to do is, there's that little pattern there I've come up with. I've been on the CAD also and had a look, come up with another design, which we'll, yeah, have a go at that in another video. But there we go. So this is a little beastie we're going to have a lash at. Dirty old herb knife. I don't know about the action, but I'll roughly cut it out of this 1084 and try the function and all the rest. So yeah, that's about what we're up to now, so let's get into it. So yeah, pretty much every battery that I own except the camera's gone flat, so in the interim I thought I might have a little talk about safety. You probably hear that thing humming away there. Yeah, so I've been watching a few YouTube videos in my day, and I've been doing the old engineering game for a long time, since 1984 if the truth be told. If you're new to engineering, a few things you just want to take your safety pretty seriously, yeah. You might have seen in the last shot with the old grinder here, cutting like that and cooking up the cod piece. Yeah, not ideal practice, but sometimes you do stuff and you don't realise what you're doing. But yeah, take your time and think about what you're doing if you're new to it. If you're not new to it, then skip forward and don't worry about this sort of stuff. Another thing I've seen on the YouTube, which personally I don't like, is people take the guard off their 5-inch grinder. In my opinion, yeah, in 40 years of engineering using one of these almost every day, I've probably taken the guard off one twice. And did I need to? No. Get something else and do it different. This being a 1mm cut-off wheel, if that hits your finger, that's going to hurt, that's going to cut. If you've been cut by a cut-off wheel, as I have in the past, yeah, they don't actually cut, they just rip. And then you'll have to be in an A&E and people picking out the grit and all the bits and pieces, so something you want to sort of avoid. It's quite a tingly sensation when it first cuts. But yeah, half an hour later it's quite painful, take my word for that. So anyway, while the battery's charged, I'll just take a wee break. We've got the old, give me a second, got the old herb knife all my cut out, roughed out. So from here, we're just going to go and give it the old 2x72 and get the shape. So yeah, anyway, don't want to take up any more of your time wasting on my jibber jabber, but I just thought I'd add that piece into it. Whatever you do, take care and be safe. Last thing you want to do is cut yourself or burn down your workshop. All good. So you've probably just seen me, yeah, can't remember. I think you've seen me grinding up the rough profile. We got all that sorted out, so that's all cool now. Just giving it a harden, the old DIY furnace. So now I'm just going to give it 2 cycles of 2 hours at, I think, 195 degrees C, but we'll see what happens. So we just stick her in the oven for a couple of hours. Come back, take it out, let it cool down, and then do it all over again. So that's all good. We're getting there. So on the video you probably just seen me grinding out the bevels on this sort of knife we're doing here. What you will note is this is what I call, this is a prototype knife. Two types of knives I normally make, those that I give to other people, or sometimes people buy them. So I do things a little bit different, and there's knives I make for myself which are essentially just functional tools, and that's all they're going to be. In reality, the herb knife is still in the tempering oven, so what I'm going to do now is just look at the scales. So I've got an old off-cut wood here to recycle, not sure what it is, bit of a hardwood, it's got a few holes in it, a few cracks and everything else, but I think it's going to be good enough for what I want to do here. I'm not going to epoxy these scales on, I'm just going to peen some rivets in there and we'll test her and see how she goes. If it works and I'm happy with it, I'll make another one, and then I'll do everything proper procedure, as you know what I'm talking about. So I'll cut that down on the bandsaw at some stage, because that's 24, so that'd be 12ish, round about, you get what I mean. So that's what I'm going to use for that. This here is my old prototype kitchen knife, a bigger one, if you can see that clearly in the video. A few things going on, you can see I've just got a pine handle on that and put some fasteners in it, screwed her up, and she works perfectly alright. Dirty old pine's a bit soft and all the rest, but no, it's been a good knife. I use it all the time, but again, that's the type of knife I just make for myself. Perfectly functional tool, works really, really well, and it's really good. Still, having said that, that's not right, and we'll get that right there. So yeah, be aware, there are some steps you can do. If you're doing it for yourself or whatever, you should really, or you could epoxy the handle in, the scales, but I'm not going to do it on this one here. I just want to get one made and try it out and see how it works. So with that being said, we will get into putting these scales on and shaping them up and see how we go with that. Then we'll get some herbs and cut some herbs. What do I know about herb knives? Herb knives? Pretty much nothing. What do I know about herbs? Probably a little bit less than that. But we'll give it a go and we'll cook something up and see how we go, eh? Yeah. Right, I'm not sure if you can see that in the video, but I've had a little issue with the scales. Like I said, they're full of holes and cracks and everything else, and a little wee piece, if you can just see in there, has broken out on the end, on the inside, but it's all good. So I found the little piece and broke it up, put a razor blade in between. I'm just going to elephant glue it up, and then I'll finish cleaning up the edges. So just get some elephant glue, hopefully it doesn't stick the scales together and I can break them apart. Put in there. Sometimes I'll mix the elephant glue with sawdust, but this time I'm just going to do this, and hopefully that's okay, and then we'll move on fitting these scales. nearly there. Let that set, put another bit on, go and do some editing and come back. So as you know, we had a bit of an issue with a piece falling out. I've elephant glued it back in. Might be a little soon to sand it now. There's going to be minimal sanding on this little blade we're making, for obvious reasons which we've discussed. But you really need to clean up these ends of the scale first before you stick it on, especially if you're epoxying it on, because it's really, really hard, if not impossible, well, yeah, to get at it once it's on the blade. So I'm just going to give this a sand up to about 400, what I'm going to do. And yeah, so thanks for hanging around so far, and let's go, let's get this done. So far so good. We're getting there. Just using a bit of brazing wire I've had for a long time just to peen up these things. Yeah, so let's do that and we'll get this finished, yep. So yeah, that's the old herb knife, almost done. You would have seen the close-up there, a few termite holes or borer holes in the handle, but I knew that before I started. I may go back and see how she works first, of course. I may go back and plug those up with a bit of epoxy and finish her off a little better, but for now, no, it's working. Yeah, I'm happy with it, very happy with it. But yeah, so all we've got left to do is give her a tickle up on the old whetstone sharpener here and go and cut some herbs and see how she goes. Alrighty, so she's all but done. Just put that there. So I've got my old herb knife, made it up, got some herbs here. Didn't have a lot to fair. What do you want, Puss? I'm filming. Get out of the way. So yeah, let's give it a go. Let's see if she goes. Not the best, probably a little bit rough on the old sharpening there due to the fact that it was freezing conditions and water on the fingers. I lost the feeling in them. But yeah, we'll give it a go and see what we got and see if she works. I don't know if you can see that very clearly, but I went down to the local grocery store and they didn't really have any herbs, so these came out of the garden. And yeah, so far pretty good, actually pretty good. Use it like that, or I'll use it like that. No, that didn't work. So what I'm going to do is chop up a few of these. So that worked pretty good. Happy with that. Got myself, I don't know if this is a herb or not, but the sort of thing I'm going to be cutting, I guess. So let's open her up and have a look. That's not going to work. Try this knife here. Because this is the sort of thing I'll be dicing up to put in me cooking. So that's so far so good. Let's have a go at that. A little bit sticky to the blade. But yeah, I might refine that convex grind a little bit later. But yeah, I'm still happy with it. The action's pretty good. I'm liking it. I'm liking it. So one more thing here. I'm going to experiment a little bit, like I said. Got a few of these chilies. Slice one of them up. Nice. Put that in a plastic bag. Should get the seeds out too. Anyway, you get the picture. You get the essence. Let's finish that off. Nice. Well, I'm happy with that. A few refinements and it'll be exactly what I want. I can always go back and tweak up that convex grind when I get some fresh 2x72 belts. So I hope you've enjoyed that little video. If you've got this far, and thanks so much for watching and thanks for subscribing. All good.